I just wanted to have a conversation about the way the Meridian Township Police Department actually polices. There have been questions from community members and others. I spoke to Rotary this afternoon about policies, procedures, trainings that we provide our officers to try and ensure that we are doing the best job, the best way for the citizens and visitors of Meridian Township. One of the things that we do biannually and we make sure is we conduct a fair and impartial policing course. Every officer in our agency goes through a fair and impartial policing training, and then also we've conducted implicit bias training. What that does is that provides at least an understanding that we all have implicit biases and that we have to maintain composure and check ourselves to make sure that we don't allow those to guide our actions. A lot of questions have been about our use of force policies and arrest management policies. Several of those questions have asked, when's the last time that policy's been updated? How is it reviewed? Who reviews it? Well, as you all will remember, we received our accreditation in February, and we had an on-site assessment by outside assessors from across the state, and they checked our policies and procedures for best practices. And one of the policies that has the most scrutiny are those use of force policies, the arrest management policies, to make sure that we are following guidelines that are widely accepted as best practices. Questions have come up about whether or not our organization allows for chokeholds, and we do not. Our policy for years has not had any kind of neck restraint chokehold allowability in it. It is it's kind of as my letter to the public that hopefully you saw. It's archaic and it's not something that is modern policing. There are many other ways that we can go about taking control of somebody in a safe manner if it comes to that. But we try to bring things so that it doesn't even have to come to that position. We conduct every officer that works for Meridian Township Police Department is assigned 3, 4, maybe even 5 neighborhoods. I know that Trustee Jackson, and I think all of the trustees at one time or another, the treasurer, have been at our community policing meetings. We meet quarterly with neighborhood leaders. We have 135 neighborhoods that are assembled and 144 people who, they don't all come at once, thank goodness. We would have a hard time with capacity, but come to these quarterly meetings and are updated about what's going on in the township, while those officers assigned to those neighborhoods make sure they make monthly contact. We also have our school and community resource officers that are embedded in both our Okemos and Hazlet school districts. Those build relationships and familiarity with the administration of those districts to make sure that they have a consistent point of contact. And so as our mission statement says, we're grounded in this community and we listen to our community, and we have the ability for those members to have access all the way to the top, the manager, and we've had community members actually come and make comment, public comment, or send correspondence to the board. I've policed in more locations than just Meridian Township, and I will share with you that our connection to the community is by far more engaging than any organization. And I'm not being disparaging about any other police organization. I'm just saying the way that we do our policing here in Meridian Township is guided by those principles that are brought forth by our community. It's really a special thing if you think about it. If you take a look at some of the other organizations, they try to paint law enforcement with a national broad brush, but we each have our own specific and unique communities, and we take our guidance from those who we police. So I would entertain any questions that maybe board members would have about our operations here. I am working with Manager Walsh. We're going to set up a community forum on policing so that we can have a broader discussion with those community members that might have questions. But we want to do that sometime in August, hopefully when things reference COVID start to ease up, where we can utilize maybe one of the school auditoriums and maintain social distancing, but have that personal dialogue as opposed to some of the challenges that come with the Zoom meetings.